All right, so this recording in this meeting is for 657 field experience in the third semester. This is our first meeting of the third semester, which for you guys is over the summer. And we're just going to check in big picture to know what we need to have ready by the end of the summer. And that's a 16-week semester. So the end of both your 8-week terms, all of this stuff will be due. Okay, so just a quick list of the things that are due, and then I'll go back and touch on each one. But as far as the things that will be due by our last week together, your 300 hours that is written on a contact log. We'll talk in a minute about options for that. Your paperwork for the university, so that includes your memorandum of understanding. And there was an ALNet form that you had to go into ALNet and submit. So that includes both of those. We'll touch more detail on that in a second. There's an on-site supervisor evaluation that is also due by the end. You likely have not even looked at that or thought about it because it's not something that comes into play until the end of the semester of your third semester. And then there's the fourth thing is your final reflection paper. So there are 4 things that are due by the last week of class. And so I'm going to take a second and go back through each one of those and just give a little bit of detail. And so if you have questions about any one of these, just let me know. So going back up to the first thing I mentioned that's going to be due the last week of class is your contact log for your 300 hours. So I have a copy of the syllabus here, and what I'm going to show you is in the syllabus, but you do not have to use it. So this is a template that they provide in the syllabus, kind of your basic chart here. And really this is just columns, and each domain of the leader standards is in a column. So it also notes in here the minimum number of hours that you need to have for each of those areas. I have had the gamut of contact logs. I have people who are handwriting things on here. I've had people who have a Excel or Google Sheets spreadsheet. I've had spreadsheets with check boxes and highlights and formulas for this and all kinds of so it kind of runs the gamut of options. It really doesn't matter to me, just however it's easiest for you to be able to show me that you have 300 hours, and for those 300 hours, which domain they belong in. My suggestion, which now that we're going into the third semester, you probably have at least half of your hours, but just staying on top of what you have, because that'll come into play in your reflection paper in the end. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But so your contact log can be as simple as just charting it in a table. And then others have it more detailed to include this information, but also, a write-up of what the experience was or what the activity was or something like that, something simple. But for your contact log, I don't necessarily have to see a description of the activity, as long as you know what that is if you choose to write about that activity in your reflection. But on the log itself, it's just the activity and the total number of hours that you've had.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so does our on-site, and I know I looked over all of this, Shannon and I did when we first had our first field experience, but I haven't looked at it closely, but does our on-site supervisor have to sign off on on the contact log or agree to that being a part of our field experience?
I think, I'm looking now to be sure, but I think that there's a question about that in the form that the evaluation form that they have to fill out.
Okay.
Let me double check and see. I mean, I don't think they have to physically sign it.
So yeah, I think, I guess, as, so it's kind of up to my discretion as, you know, what domain it would go under, basic, and how many hours.
Right.
And they would just have, I mean, how picky are they for all of this? Or are you? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I'm the one grading all of this.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
How are
So
you?
I'm not very picky. You know, in general, none of the RPCs try to be very picky on this because in a normal circumstance, we get the hours that we can get. Especially this year, given so many limitations, we're really just shooting for 300 hours. So yeah, I will be the one that's grading this. And
And are you also grading our paper too, that we do, the reflection?
Yep.
And are you going to be pretty strict on the whole APA format? And
I mean, I read it if there's something that's like, if you're not citing something,
right. Okay.
Or if you are like, it's a, you know, clear miscitation or something, I might take a few points off, but I'm not going to be going through each individual thing to like go back and reference APA handbook.
Okay.
Nobody has time for that.
I know. Okay.
Yeah. Great question. So as far as signature on the contact log itself, that's not really necessary, but in the on-site supervisor evaluation form that they have, they sign the back of, or I guess the last page of the evaluation. And it kind of is just them signing to say they agree, they were a part of the process, all of the things that you guys have talked about, they agree with. So it kind of is a package deal.
Thank you.
Is there a limit for how many hours we can have for each activity?
So
Good
I know
question.
I know that came up in the conversation in the last week or the week before, because in 557, there is a 10-hour max for each activity. But as far as I know, 657, it's 300 hours. There is a minimum number you have to have per domain, but I don't think that there's a max for an activity. So like, for example, the 557s, you know, it's easy to get supervision hours. You're supervising at activities and sporting events and parent events and all that kind of stuff, but they can only get 10 supervision hours. But for you guys, the syllabus is not explicit in saying that there's a max number of 10 hours. So we're just going to go with that it doesn't say that there's a max of 10 hours. And hopefully that will be helpful to get you guys to your 300 hours also.
Can I ask another question? Sometimes we have assignments that we have to upload to some sort of portfolio. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Your VIA?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with this?
It can. So there are some classes, I'm looking to see if it says it in here, but there are some classes where you, in the syllabus for those classes, it'll say that this assignment or this number of hours can count towards your field experience. So all you need to do is just kind of transfer that onto your contact log. And so there is, I can't remember if it's for 600 or 500, but there's a couple courses that just say about 20 hours of this work would go to your field experience, but it doesn't really specify exact assignments that fall into that 20 hours. So that what I've just told others to do is just put for this course, 20 hours of course and field work. And so, and usually those courses are like your instructional leadership or your managerial leadership or something to where it's clearly going to go in that same domain. So you just kind of plug it in there. Okay, any other questions about the contact log itself? So just as a final summary of that item. The log can be designed however, submitted however, like you'll upload it into VIA, but it will have to be able to be a PDF so that you can upload it, but however you want to have it along the way is fine. All right, the second thing that I mentioned that will be due by the last week is your field experience kind of paperwork, your memorandum of understanding, and the form that was submitted to your on-site supervisor through ALNet. As far as I know, if you guys are here now, you've done that because the main campus really, the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, really kind of hunted down anyone that had that missing and told them that they were not going to be able to start this semester if they didn't have it finished. So I will double check with the coordinator on the main campus just to make sure that you guys are all in the clear. But from what I understand, if you're here now and you're in your summer semester, you're good.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to pass it on, but unless we had to do it twice, my on-site supervisor and I both remember doing it that.
Mm-hmm.
And Shannon, I don't know about you, but we were kind of like, why are we doing this again? Because I know.
Oh, did you have to do it again a second time?
Yeah. I mean, we did it at the very beginning. And so he was kind of like, what is this? We already did this. So
yeah, you should have only had to do it once, but maybe there was a mistake in the office end of things. I know in particular, the ALNet form was a nightmare because it kept getting stuck in filters leaving William Woods and for the school district and coming back to William Woods. So it was just kind of a nightmare. But yes, if you had to do it again, there probably was just a glitch somewhere, but you technically only need to do it once for the duration of the field experience. Okay, the third thing that is due by the end of this semester is your on-site supervisor evaluation form. That is on page 26 of your syllabus and looks like this. And so this is another thing that you'll have to upload into VIA. So you can just pull these pages out of your syllabus, have them fill it out, scan it, and upload it. They will complete this, and there's rating scale questions, and then at the very end, they offer just like open comments, kind of what's typical of an evaluation for a school district, to where your on-site supervisor will score and then provide kind of summative feedback comments. And then if you as the candidate want to offer any additional comments, if you wanted to further explain something or whatever it might be, then you could add your comments there as kind of like a rebuttal if they had anything to say. And then both of you will sign and date, and then it's uploaded, like I said, into VIA.
Dumb question, maybe you said it. Is there an electronic form or it has to be paper?
As far as I know, it's just the paper form. So it's just scanned and uploaded. I think they're keeping it hard copy so that it can be uploaded, because ALNet and VIA are separate entities. And so I think if they created a form, it would be an ALNet, which isn't really going to talk to VIA. So I think they keep it hard copy.
Okay. I'm sorry to ask all these questions. Someone else is asking any. Okay.
Well, you could probably use the Word document for the syllabus and just delete the other pages to make it an electronic form.
That's what I think. Just to make it easier.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? The VIA thing. Okay, so I know that Shannon, did you have trouble sometimes even uploading, and I would have to just email the instructor my assignment? So are we going to, at the end of this, like here, like you don't have this in VIA and you need to?
I will double check and see if it's like hard and fast, like, yes, it has to be in VIA. I don't mind getting an email. I'm happy to score it in an email or in VIA. The only thing that I can think of is in the past, if that's happened and I've had someone send it to me in an email, I still go into VIA and I can put the scores in, like override the upload kind of situation. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I can do that, which is fine because I'm already going to be in VIA anyway. It's a kind of a finicky little thing when you try to log into VIA. So
Yeah, I don't like
depending on
it.
the day, yeah, it's a little complicated. So if it's not working, it's not a big deal. You can either upload it into, there's probably a space in LNet, or just email is fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm in Alnet now and just clicked on like our 657 coursework. There's nothing there like to even link you out to VIA.
Okay. It is probably, let me see. Oh, wait, I'm in it as a faculty member. So let me go in as a student.
Oh, I lied. Okay, I have 2 657s assigned to me right now, probably from this last semester too.
Yeah, I
It
think
is field experience assignment in VIA.
okay. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna want to see first, they must not have closed out the stuff from spring 2, because I have double all of the cohorts for you guys in my list, because it's showing up as your second semester and your third semester in my list. So hopefully in a day or two that'll be cleaned out of there. But you're going to want to make sure that you're going into your field experience, your 550 or 65703, which is your third term. So if you go in that one, is there a link to, there is a link to the VIA? Okay.
Well, it's not a link to VIA.
It's
It
a
just
link to
says field
upload.
experience assignment in VIA. And then when you click it, like when we do for others in Alnet, it just takes you and says what the 3 requirements are, but there's no way to go from there to VIA.
Into VIA?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
Sorry.
All right. The only other thing I can think, I mean, I can send you guys a link to it, like in email. I'm trying to look at it from what it looks like on your end as students. But it doesn't look to me like it has that option. When you guys log in initially, and you have like that grid of squares that has like all your courses or Alnet or anything like that, I don't know. It does not show it on there for me, but is it an option on that grid for you guys?
I don't see VIA. I see
Okay.
Turnitin as an
Okay.
option.
Yeah, that's a different. Okay, I'll just make sure you guys have that link.
Okay.
But I just worry about the past stuff that we were supposed to put in, if that matters, if it's not there.
For other courses or?
Yeah, it probably
Um,
shouldn't, right?
No, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. If it's in a
Okay.
past course, it's done and over, we'll just
Okay.
leave. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. Okay, so I made a note that the next time we meet, I'll have that link ready for you. Okay, so 300 hours, your log, the paperwork, the on-site supervisor eval, and then the last thing that's due by the end of the term is your reflection paper. And the directions for that are on page 37 of your syllabus. So this is going to be a 10 to 15 page paper, which I know, but by the time you go through the pieces of it, you'll get there. And I'm grading it. So if you have the pieces there, then you guys will be fine. So the final reflection paper is, obviously it's double spaced and all that typical kind of stuff. You are going back over the hours that you have and choosing some of the activities that you've done and reflecting on those as they relate to the Missouri Leader Standards. You'll upload it in VIA, of course. There's a like a cover page template on this page of the information that you'll need to make sure that you include. So you are going to select at least 2 to 4 activities per standard. and you're going to discuss those in the paper. So again, like what I would suggest, find 2, write your paper, see where you get. If you need a little bit more, add another one into one of the standards and just kind of see where you get. You're reflecting on what you gained through that experience, lessons learned, professional growth, how you can use that experience and what you learned as a future admin. And then at the very end of the whole paper, you're kind of just reflecting on the overall experience of your time in the field experience, in the classrooms, in the schools, and things like that.
Does it say that we have to cite research or include research?
It does not.
Okay, I just didn't know. I'm sorry, I don't have my syllabus in front of me.
No, that's okay.
Upstairs.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It does not. It's just asking you to reflect on a couple of activities for each of those standards. And then a general reflection at the end. Okay, one thing I'm going to check really quick before I go. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I'm just looking at one thing really quick. Okay, so it doesn't look like in your ALNet that it gives a rubric for your reflection. That's the one thing I just wanted to make sure before, because sometimes those rubrics are built in and I have to grade according to the rubric, but in ALNet, it's not there. Let me look one more place.
Is it in the syllabus? Because a lot of times they're already in our syllabus. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I don't have it that I know of. I will do a little bit of digging just to make sure that it doesn't show up at the end and, come back to bite us. But when we meet again, well, if there is, I will email it to you as soon as I get it. But for sure, when we meet this next time, we'll touch back on this and see if it's there. But I have not ever seen one in the RPC meetings. No one's ever talked about one, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so you guys I know it's right before your class time, so I don't want to make you late for that. But the 4 things again, your 300 hours on whatever version of a contact log you need or want, your MOU and your ALNet form, which you should be fine already on, your on-site supervisor evaluation form, which will be scanned and uploaded as well, and then your reflection paper. So those 4 things are due by the end of our course together in August. I'm pretty sure we end in August. Okay, any last questions before you guys jump into your class for tonight?
We could put in the force
You
operation.
I think I'm good.
The date for our other one.
Okay.
We could put
Okay.
in the forced operation if you want.
Sorry, my husband's working in the same
That's okay.
office.
That's okay.
Just a little HVAC talk. It's fine. Are we setting another one or are you just emailing it to us?
Since it's so close to your class time, I will just email you.
Okay.
And so I'll do that now. I'm going to email you guys. We'll meet in cohorts. We'll probably meet in 2 weeks. So I'm meeting with the 557s next week, and we'll probably meet the week after that. So that would put us at on the 19th. We'll check in. I'll do one cohort from like 4:40, maybe 4:30 to 5, and one from 5 to 5:30. So I'll send you that. All right.
Okay, thank you.